Hey, y'all, welcome back to a special episode of the Late Night Vision Show. Yeah, y'all, it is day one of SHOT Show. Yes, it is a big week. This is just the beginning of it. And as always, and I say as always, this is what year one or two in a row where we've done all the interview shows on the very first day of SHOT Show. But we've got a big interview. And to help introduce the guest, the owner of Outdoor Legacy, Mr. Jason Robertson. Let us know who's on the show today. Big day, starting SHOT.
It is, guys. So we've got these interviews with a lot of the major thermal manufacturers. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the Late Night Vision Show and see all these interviews. Today, I am happy to announce we are here live all the way from snowy Colorado with Mr. Trent Henckell. Trent is the director of sales at AGM here in the U.S., and he is a good friend of Hans and I. He's come out, he's hunted with us, he's hung out with us several times, and he's been on the show multiple times, and he is back again this year. Trent, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, appreciate y'all having me back. Good to know I'm still welcome back. So.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I don't know what's going on, but I see that Hans has on an AGM shirt. You've got on an Outdoor Legacy. I feel like I have something else. I gotta. Yeah.
So the thing, Scott from AGM sent these shirts to us, Jason. And if you want to know, can Hans be bribed? Yes. And it only costs this much. So let's talk about why AGM scopes are the greatest in the universe. Go ahead.
That's exactly. And I would be wearing mine, but it was sort of like a moo-moo on me. It was like it was a dress.
These are nice. These are really nice. Yeah. These fishing shirts. But yeah, thank you, and thanks for being on the show, Trent. We've got a lot to get through today. We said what's the over/under for how long this show is going to take, and that really just depends on YouTube, which having y'all on the same call typically is like an hour and a half. But we want to make sure we get through all of this.
We're both rambling guys, so
it's been
and trying to edit half of this interview.
Yes, thank you for considering the editing process here, because there's a lot of y'all talking. There's a lot of fluff. Sometimes, so I'm trying to keep y'all on point. But Jason, help us kick this thing off, man.
All right, so Trent, man, listen, I've got some notes here, some stuff I know you want to talk about. There's some things that I'm really excited about that are down here, like bullet point 3. So I want to kick you a little bit in the rear, get this thing going. I want to talk about some cool new stuff down here at the bottom. Some cool new stuff that we might even have a little bit of right here. So Trent, talk to us about 2023. That's behind us now, as we're again first week here, or first day of SHOT Show. Y'all had a huge change last SHOT Show, big announcement. Talk to us a little bit about what that big announcement was, and then how 2023 has gone for y'all, or went.
Absolutely. So, just like you said, everybody's tuning in, seeing what's new, not to talk about old and what's come from. But the big announcement last year really was our shift and focus on our warranty. We went from a 3-year in our 384-640 to a 5-year warranty. And that's was a big move. It's a move, in all honesty, I wish we could have launched in inception, but we had to kind of pick a line, start providing that added support, and we were happy to do it. I think in tandem with some of that increase of warranty, it was really a focus 2023 on that customer support you received. Right. It's not just, you're covered. You get a live agent on the phone. You get Sky or Victoria or Terry calling you back same day. I'm, very, very happy and pleased and feel that we honestly have provided some of the better customer support now in the entirety of the industry. And we're doing so at a lot of our attractive price points, the good bang for the buck that we're kind of known for. So that was a big focus for us last year, not just growing, but supporting those that are helping us grow. In addition to that, last year was a big year. We jumped into a couple new arenas, so to speak. We launched the Neath kind of dipping our toes into digital night vision. A little bit of a tease to bullet point 3. We've got some new digital night vision optics coming to market here for SHOT Show. We also really kind of focused on improving some of our image quality, especially on our 640 series. Our Sidewinders came out roughly April around the NRA show, and these were offering a sub 20 millikelvin sensor, a much better and improved image quality, I believe, in our 640s. And we've also now paralleled that new sensor and chipset into some new launches that I'll discuss here briefly as well.
So what I would say is, if you, to go back to one of your first points on the customer service, and I'll talk briefly about that, and Jason, let you get into your deal, but you can see that reflected on social media a lot of people, because man, we all know social media can be brutal and companies just get sometimes unfairly just criticized and raked over the coals. But I'm seeing a lot of positive information and feedback from people online that are say, hey, went through the process. It was great, easy. People, our customers that call in and say, hey, I got a hold of AGM and everything's taken care of. It's fine. They were great. But I will say, man, there's just, Jason and I talk about this a lot. We do not get a lot of calls from AGM customers with problems. Now, wouldn't you agree, Jason? They're one of the,
Yeah,
I mean, as far as
I do agree.
Issues
I
with
think
scopes,
it's
very low.
It is very, very low. And I do think your customer service, I think every company has hiccups in the road where maybe you're short staffed, maybe somebody important quits, whatever. There's always a hiccup in the road for every company, of not even just in this industry. I mean, our company, anybody's company. I think 2023, y'all brought it on with the 5-year warranty and really stepping up customer service. And, that's one of the things dealing with all the brands, when somebody calls us, hey, this is what's going on in the scope. Ooh, man, that's not a press these 2 buttons. Something's wrong with it. Yeah. You're going to need to reach out to the manufacturer for the warranty. It really makes us feel good when we can say, hey, man, here's their phone number. Here's their email. Contact them. They're going to take care of you. And when you can hang up that phone and know that guy's taken care of, that means a lot. Because if it's that worry of like, oh my gosh, is anybody ever going to call? Nobody wants to do that. So anyway, I mean, not to just beat a dead horse, but y'all did really, really good. Stepped up there, not just 5-year warranty, but taking care of everybody on the day-to-day, small issues they might have.
And I appreciate that. It was a big focus of ours, without getting into the weeds too much, but we had a major rebuild within, the department, within the company. We had some very good individuals on our team in the past, but it was a very isolated department at one facility. Not much interaction, front facing with marketing, with sales. Roughly the week of SHOT Show, as y'all were aware, maybe some of the end users out there were as well. We essentially, lost most of our customer service departments. We had sales guys jumping on the calls doing it. Week after SHOT Show, I kind of jumped in with the team, took over rebuilding that team, and I will not take any of the credit in the world, because that team has really stepped in. And I think, whatever the saying is, it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a team effort. I can't say enough to our team. And, for those that have experienced the same, let us know. For those that haven't, call us. I wish I could tell you our call-in number, but go to AGM Global Vision. I guarantee you'll get a response back within 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. So, I can't say enough for the team.
Well, Trent, looking down here at this list, I'm still antsy. I want to get to the good stuff, but there is some good news here. I'm going to let you talk about it, but I see a big list of some stuff with some numbers on it, and some looks like maybe some price changes. Everybody likes to see things getting cheaper, more money in your wallet. So tell us what's kind of going on here for 2023.
Yes. Listen to some of y'all's prior shows talking about state of industry, talking about competitiveness, resetting of price points. I think one thing AGM has definitely tried to do and strived to do is always set that tone from the gate, not having to do a lot of price adjustments, cutting our margins from the get-go to really provide that service to the end user. We've also seen a lot of changes both in technology, prices coming down. So on that good note, I've got roughly 12 units that is on my list across our varmints, our adders, and our sidewinders. It's starting today. They're all going to be immediate price reductions, anywhere from $100 to $500. And that's, you know, just something that we're able to offer to stay competitive. You know, I think one thing AGM's always wanting to focus on is being that leader, both price wise, feature wise, you know, within certain category spaces. So I know we discussed having some of those specific models and pricing here in the notes on this video if y'all are watching.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching this show on YouTube, if you're listening to it on one of the audio only versions, we'd say go over to YouTube, and Hans will put in the show. See, this is what we like to do. Trent and I can come up with all kinds of things because it doesn't affect us. It's just more work for Hans. But Hans, we don't even know how he's going to do it. He's going to figure it out. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
He's
You'll
going to
get another hoodie, Hans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to put these prices in here. It's too much to go over 12 models and the prices. It doesn't work well. You need to see it visually. So Hans will copy and paste that down there in the description of this show. So if you want to look at that, and then
it might even be on the screen. What if it's scrolling on the screen while it's
and he would be, he's
production cost has just gone up. Jason
Yeah.
has not got his production bill on this show, but it's
that's
gonna be
right.
high.
That's right. So
high.
the other thing, guys, is these prices will be effective immediately. So as soon as we're capable, we'll be having these prices change on the Outdoor Legacy website as well. So, you know, whatever your dealers are, these prices will be effective, like, you know, Trent said this week. So, all right, that's great. Now, I'm sorry. I know I'm pushing. If you're watching the show, like, what is this guy so antsy? But listen, I get excited when you take good things and you make good things better. And we've had the opportunity to play with some of these new things. So tell us what's new. That's why everybody tuned into this show, even though we know we like to think it was to see three good looking guys that are in their, you know, mid 40s, but more than likely they just want to see
or at
the
least
new
we
stuff.
hope our wives think we're good looking guys.
Oh, yeah, hope our wives All right. What's up?
No, we got a lot new. You know, some of this we were really on the cusp of launching Q4 2023. We didn't really make some deadlines, didn't want to bring it to market you know, before the Christmas rush. Let's kind of hold stock. Some good news is, you know, the first release I'm talking about, Outdoor Legacy is going to have them on the shelf as this airs. They are right now, and we're middle of December, they're en route to my Texas facility. So when this goes live, y'all go to outdoorlegacygear.com. They're ready to purchase ASAP. And I'm going to talk about our Rattler V2s. The Rattler lineup, trying to remember now, I believe we launched it fall of 2020. It might have been SHOT Show 2021 in our 384 configuration. Great product. It's been a workhorse for the AGM brand, and, you know, highlighting what Jason's already kind of capitalized on. We're taking that and we're making it better. I talked about some of the image improvements, some of the sensor improvements that we had with our sidewinders earlier this year. We are doing a sub 20 millikelvin sensor in all of our Rattler V2s. I'm going to spend a little bit of time and just talk about the Rattler V2 in general, and then break down the magnifications, the price points, some of the variances within the select four models, both 384 and 640. But one major improvement is batteries. You know, we love the Rattler. We're not a huge fan of the CR123s, as that's kind of an older technology. We have gone to, you know, an internal removable rechargeable battery. I believe Jason might even be showing you a glimpse of that now, but I'm kind of calling it more like a camcorder style battery. Couple good things. It's coming 2 batteries out of the box. It's coming with a charger, and the drum roll, we're testing anywhere from 10 to 12 hour runtime per battery. You know, I know
That's
that's
great.
needs to be tested in cold environments and other things, but you know, I'm very, very excited to offer, you know, 20 hours out of the box, no added costs, no additional buy-ons. We will be selling these batteries additional, and I'll provide more details to that, not the week of SHOT Show, so these guys can let y'all be aware of it, but do really think that's been a solid increase.
So I want to say one quick thing here. I want to just interrupt you, just and you're on a roll. But one thing that I know you've made the point to us, and right now you don't have firm pricing on the batteries, but you have made the point from the very beginning when you started discussing these optics was, we're going to have these batteries. We're going to include two. We're not making this and selling this to make money on batteries. We're not trying to, and I think sometimes there's a myth that a lot of people believe that, you know, at least in this thermal world, that I think, oh, we're trying to make a bunch of money on the batteries. It's not necessarily that. It's trying to get a battery, not making it proprietary just so you can sell it, but you have control of it. You can make sure it's the right battery. It fits right. It gives the performance they need. And sometimes you get into that with like CR123As. Some guy can go buy the off-brand, you know, online somewhere, and he's getting an hour and a half. The next guy's buying a Panasonic and he's getting 4 hours, you know. So you're controlling that. And I'm going to tell you, I do like it. It's a big improvement over CR123As. This is a light battery. That's the thing. It's very light. You're getting 2 of them, and whatever that price is, I know y'all are going to get it. You know, again, I'm not people. I don't want you to think I'm putting Trent on the spot. He's told us we're going to sell these batteries as cheap as we can. So yep. I think that's a big deal. I'm not. We don't know what the price is, but you're not going to be buying a $200 or $300 battery. That's not what it's going to be.
No, and that just goes back to a lot of, you know, the brand culture, what we've tried to offer. It's not rings included. You know, these will come with American Defense mounts. We want to give you the best batteries. I'm not looking to upsell you in the gadget or accessory game. You know, I hate to say it, but we're probably the Samsung of the thermal scopes, not the Apple, right? You know, I'm okay if it's every external battery pack's running on a USB-C. Sure. We want to make the ease in use, and you walk out with that box, you get 20 hours right out of the gate. You know, you got a all-night tournament, a couple-day tournament, you know, you don't even need extra batteries, right? That's our goal, is give you everything you need, but also make sure what we're giving you isn't just a one-off, get you going, you need to come back and upgrade. You know, we've tried to make that tried and true through our entirety of lineup, and our digital night vision selling for $800 is coming with that same American Defense mount. So that's no different. These will be coming with an ADM mount. It will be a variance. It's going to be called the 2120 AGM ADM mount. So essentially smaller footprint, a little bit different footprint from what your Rattler V1s were. But yeah, everything's going to be coming with that out of the box. I want to spend one quick moment before I get into the specifics. We are still keeping some of our Rattler V1s in our current and existing lineup. Right. So are we excited about some of the improvements? Absolutely. And I'll get into what those variances are. Does that mean day one you need to run out and ditch your old V1 in preparation for a V2? I don't think that's the case. And obviously you guys are the experts to talk to. I'll get into some of the variances really between 384 and 640, but we're still going to have our V1s in our current lineup. You know, we're still going to have firmware support. We're still going to be offering support to it. For those, you know, you just bought a V1 here for Christmas. Oh man, let me turn around and get it. You know, again, I'll walk through those differences, but the main thing is really the battery life. You know, our Rattler V1s, we're using a sub 35 millikelvin sensor. If you're out in dry, you know, normal operating conditions, you know, there's probably not this huge variance between that sub 35 and the sub 20 millikelvin sensor. You get into bad weather environments, humidity, a lot of cold rain up in the north. You're definitely going to start seeing a difference in those poor conditions with this new sensor that's going into the V2s.
Yeah.
So I'll be quick. I know I'm long-winded, but the main difference, I'm just going to focus on the 384 right now. Our V1 Rattler 384, we're both 17 micro. I believe their base magnifications were 1.5 and 2.2. We have improved from the 384 V1 to V2. They're now a 12 micro. Again, the upgrade in the sensor I mentioned, but now we've increased our base magnification. For those guys that love the Rattler 384s, but it just wasn't enough magnification for you, you're now getting a 2.2x base optical magnification on the TS35-384 V2. And you're getting, I want to make sure I quote this right, a 3x base mag on the 35-384. So we are seeing an immediate improvement, apples to apples in that 384. We're going to look at price points $20.95 on the TS25-384 and $24.95. That's going to be on the TS35-384.
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, guys, what he's basically saying is, I'm going to round this up, make it easy. $2,100 is going to get you a 2.2 base magnification. $2,500 is going to get you a 3 power. This is the V2 35-384. I have been running that next to the V1 35-384. And so I'm seeing that difference of that 2.2 on the V1. Mm-hmm. Going up to this 3 power. It's significantly more magnification. I really think what this is going to do is this is going to allow your coyote hunters, your predator hunters to get into a $2,500, small style scope, because right now you're offering that in your adders, but they didn't have the choice. If they, I want to get this little small compact scope, maybe use it as a handheld, they couldn't do that. They couldn't get 3 power for that price. So now they've got that option in this optic. Really like that. So, Yep, good prices.
Yep. Yes. And, pivoting to the 640 real quick, all the same improvements. You're going from a sub 35 millikelvin sensor to a sub 20. Again, I know the units y'all are showing are without the American Defense mount. They're all coming with an ADM mount, all 5-year warranty. You're getting this exact same magnification in a Rattler 640 V1 to V2. And the reason for that, those were launched a little bit later than our 384s. They were already in a 12 micron configuration. So your magnifications are not going to be changing with your 640 Rattler V2 the same way that it is a little bit more different in our 384 configurations. Same upgrade to batteries, and it is that 640 by 512. So you're looking at a 2x base mag on the 35-640 V2 at $4,000, $39.95. On the 50-640 V2, you're looking at $4,500, and that does get you a 2.5x base mag.
Awesome.
There you go. Guys, I really like these. I want to say one quick thing. I know somebody's going to ask or say, well, wait a minute. I can see this is a different battery housing than my other Rattler. Obviously it's not taking CR123As. This is going to be a waterproof unit. It's got the rubber gasket right here. So if you see me, I kind of got to press to snap that in because of that gasket. So it's going to be a waterproof unit. I know somebody's going to ask that and say, well, it's different. Is that going to affect taking it out in the rain or the bad weather? Nope. Same thing. It's good to go.
The battery or the button layout too looks much improved. So much more space in the buttons. They're raised a little bit higher. Definitely glove friendly and weather friendly. So that's a great improvement on that. And one of the coolest things, it's got a little
Please
light.
don't say it. Oh man, I was going to save that. No, I'm just teasing.
It's got a little light to let you know that it's on.
It's the coolest thing on this whole thing.
Glowing red light over there on the power button.
Little tiny. Now listen, I'm going to go ahead and say it because I know I can see the comments. Oh my gosh, the coyotes are going to sit. No, it is this tiny little red light, but it's so awesome when you're out there in the dark to know where that. I mean, you don't have to feel it. You just go, hey, there's a little red light. No, that's a cool feature. So, all right, Rattlers. clearly one of your most popular lines. You know, like you said, they've been around for ages. This is, I think the rattlers are what put AGM on the map. I think in the last 12 months, and probably maybe more than 12, but maybe 18 months, the adders have really been popular for you. And then in the last 12 months, the sidewinders, you know, 18650 handhelds, very good image quality. Love those units. They've been super popular. I'm seeing this progression of AGM just continuing to get a little better and a little better and a little better. And we really, really like it. So I'm glad to see that the very popular Rattler line is getting this facelift. And so I think, like you said, you know, I know you're going to keep a couple of those Rattler V1 models around. There's nothing wrong with them. They're still great optics, but this is just going to be, you know, a guy wants a few improvements. This is going to be it. But Trent, tell us what else you got. There's something down here else in this list that I think is really cool. And I think it's probably going to surprise some guys when they hear about it.
Yeah, and I've got a couple new kind of product announcements here for SHOT Show. The first lineup is going to be called our Clarion. This is going to be a thermal rifle scope. We're going to have it in two configurations, both a 384 and a 640. It is going to be built on the Rattler housing, so it's going to look very, very similar to the existing Rattlers that are Rattler V2s that Jason and Hans have already been showing you. Here's the main difference. Those are both going to be dual field of view scopes. I know there's some other manufacturers, some other units in the market. Essentially what that is two different lens sizes that you can rotate between, allowing for two different base optical magnifications, right? So we are going to offer that in a 384 configuration. Those two lens sizes are going to be 25 or 50 millimeter, providing you with a 2.2x base mag or a 4.3x base mag. So for your coyote hunters, for your hog hunters, for your guys that want to be able to cover both gaps without having to degrade the image quality by using the digital zoom, it will provide them. It is going to be in the same 20 millikelvin sensor, same exact battery configuration that we're discussing with the Rattler V2s. Will come with the ADM mount, and I believe we're the first to offer that dual field of view in a 384, coming in at a $3,500 price.
Okay, guys, I want to. I'm sorry. No, I just want to say real quick, just to be clear, Trent, you did a great job explaining it, but just for the guy who's completely unfamiliar with that, because this is it's a new technology. There's only a couple optics out there on the market with this, so it's essentially. It's optical zoom. It's not continuous optical zoom, but it's optical zoom on a thermal optic. So like Trent said, there's two different lenses. So it's not something you've got to change. I just want to be clear. People don't think, oh, I got to go get this lens or this lens. You're going to, I'm assuming, twist something. And when you do, it's going to rotate another lens in there. And you're going to go from a 2.2 optical to that 4.3 optical. As he said, you are not going to have to, it's just going to be twisted. And boom, you have now doubled your magnification and lost zero image quality because, again, you're doing this through glass, not digital zoom. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make the assumption you're still going to have digital zoom off of both of those. So if you're at 2.2 and you want to use your digital zoom without rotating anything, I'm sure you still can. Same thing on your 4.3. But what it is it's a way to double your base magnification with zero image quality loss. And I ain't going to lie to you. I looked at these notes and I had not looked at the price. $3,500 is awesome to get that in a 384 unit. I didn't notice that. I was shocked when you said that and had to do a double take. That's a fantastic price to be able to get that.
I agree. And I think you did a great job, highlighting the technology behind it and what it really does. I think the versatility of those dual field of view really comes out there for those guys doing a lot of, right? To sell you a static 384 scope with a 4.3 base mag, you're really putting it over here in this box where you're only putting it long range. You can't get
Mhm.
wider field of view at a shorter distance. You know, when you have that gap that you can go anywhere from a 2.2 to that 4.3, you know, and rotating to that magnification at a 384 resolution, now you can digitally zoom up from that. It covers a lot of gaps. And I think a lot of your repeat users, a lot of guys coming in wanting one scope to do a lot of things, it's definitely going to fit that box, right? You know, there's still going to be other options for guys that don't need that much variance, and we'll have those options at a, you know, less expensive price point. But to be a one size fit all that can do anything under the sun, you know, that's where the 384 and the 640 will really come into play.
But you have a 640 model, so tell us about that.
640. Yep. And again, it's given us a lot of versatility. You know, the negative that I would say, and y'all probably know this all too well, when we're coming out with a new scope, right, we have to pick, what is that base mag? Is it a 2X? Is it a 1.5? Is it a 2.5? You know, and it's kind of that sweet spot on trying to capture a lot of users where you're maybe not given enough magnification to some guys because you're trying to do a one hat fit all, right? That 640 is, again, covering some amazing gaps in what that magnification is. It's going to be a 1.8X on our lowest base magnification, or you can rotate it over, same 640 resolution, at a 3.1. So those lens sizes are going to be a 35 millimeter and 60 millimeter, and that retail price point is going to be $5,500. So now you get a 640 resolution scope, low base mag, and a 1.8 gets you a large, wide field of view. Jason, I know how you hunt. That's going to be your bread and butter. You know, but you can also rotate it to a 3X,
right,
a 3.1X at a 640. You know, so Hans, you're getting out shooting more coyotes than Jason does.
Yep.
Hey, that scope will do both.
Right.
And that's what we're excited to come out with. One last note, Rattler V2s in stock now. Go to outdoorlegacygear.com and buy them. These Clarions are going to be shown at SHOT Show. They are going to be slated right now for a middle February to middle of March release. I'll have more information by the time the show airs, but those are going to be coming Q1. They're not going to be sitting on the shelf ready to go. But those are going to be tailored for like a February to March release.
So I want to say one thing about this dual field of view, this you know, optically. I love it, and I want this to take off. And I'm going to make this call to AGM and to every manufacturer. So I hope in a couple of years, when this is it's more and more and more common, and we're seeing it, I would love every optic to have it, and then we can have 50% of the choices out there. And people go, well, I want more choices. No. Wouldn't it be awesome to take your rattlers and say, okay, instead of 2 384s, there's one, because you're getting both of them in one. Like the price just dropped. You know what I mean? Eventually down the road, where we can say we don't need 12 optics, we can do it in 6 because we're taking 2 and combining them. Which one do you want? Well, you can get them both at the exact same price. So, all right, that's where I want it to go. It's going to take a few years for this technology, I know, to get affordable enough to do that. But that's what I'm hoping for is again, less choices. I don't mean it like that. It's actually the same amount of choices, but in less product. I mean, that's better for everybody.
I would agree with you, and I think I've got my work cut out for me, as to all other manufacturers. I don't disagree. I think less can be more. You know, the popularity of certain models is kind of dictate that. Because the world we're in, you know, unfortunately, there's not less TVs out there now. Technology,
unfortunately,
and I will, you know me all too well. I will continue to push that. I don't want there to be 30 different options for that same end user and customer. Let's pick our best foot forward. I do know it's a global game, and we've got, you know, suppliers and you know, production facilities to also appease. So let me get back to work. But, it's a step in the right direction, right?
Well,
lastly,
I wanted to get to this. No, I was going to say I know we're running a little short on time, but and I knew we would. And so we're going over this before the call, and Trent goes, "Hey, if we get long, we can cut this last one." I was like, and I looked down, I was like, "What is this last one?" I was like, I said, "We ain't cutting this. You got to roll this to the top." This got me the most excited. I literally didn't know anything about it, hadn't seen it. Trent hadn't mentioned it before, and I'm excited about this one. So tell them what this improvement is on an existing model.
Yeah, so back to digital night vision. This will be a SHOT Show release. I will have to verify if you don't have them. They will be probably in stock in your facility by middle of February. This is going to be a Neath LRF. So the Neath was our digital night vision rifle scope. For those familiar with the AGM lineup, essentially it's in a Varmint housing. So what we did was we took the Varmint and where that LRF was in our thermal rifle scope, and we replaced it with a digital night vision scope. It was a digital night vision core and sensor. You know, it was a IR light in place of the LRF. And our variance now is we're just taking that. We're essentially adding a laser range finding feature, and now, you know, for a digital night vision scope with the built-in LRF, built-in IR, still coming with an American Defense mount, still 2.5x space mag, we're going to be retailing that for $1,000.
I mean,
that's awesome.
That is awesome. So, all right, I'm going to say this, Hans, Trent, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't like saying these things and haven't thought about it well, but well, I say I don't like it. I do it all the time. And no, but am I wrong in saying this is the first digital night vision optic that I can think of in this kind of price range that has an LRF? I mean, anything that we carry anyway. Maybe there's something obscure. You know what? I should give that disclaimer. Maybe there's an obscure brand, something that we don't carry, but out of the big manufacturers, I don't know of anything that has the laser rangefinder
not currently
built in, especially built in, and doing it at $999. I mean, $200 over the current pricing of the Neath. Neath is a fantastic optic. Really like it. The 18650 is a big deal. You know what guys have really picked up on is a lot of these other digital night vision optics either have internal batteries or CR123As or double A's. And guys, if y'all hear something, they're pressure washing my office, and they're literally right outside my window right now. I was like, what are the odds? I heard this ladder, and I was like, what is going on? They're spraying this. So anyway, no, I think that's exciting to get that in this price point under $1,000 or $999, whatever. They're right at $1,000. I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to say this is going to be a big seller for 2024 for AGM.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, you know, one thing we've tried to really kind of do is all of our SHOT Show announcements right now, they're going to be available Q1. You know, I've got a lot of other things on the horizon. I'll tease you to ask for an invite, maybe middle of Q2 next. But we've got more digital, more thermal. We've got a lot more in the works. I think we've laid a pretty good groundwork on what has helped AGM grow to this point, but we're just getting started. I think the fine-tune details, you know, everything from our packaging to our button layouts to some tweaks within our firmware. You know, keep in mind, AGM's been about 4 years strong as a company. We've made a lot of progress. We've learned a lot of lessons, you know, and I think those small improvements, all of our thermals now come with that sub 20 millikelvin sensor. It's not just select units, right? Offering them at the price points we are. Focus on the customer support. You know, we're kind of raring and going to really get out there ahead of it and keep that momentum going. So a lot of new stuff coming.
So Trent, we're going to recap this real quick and then we're going to close it, man, because you got an impressive list here. A lot of information that we got through today. Obviously, all this information, we're going to try to stick it in the show notes of the description of this video so you can see the price changes. But you got price changes on very popular models. You've got improvements to very popular models with the Rattler V2s. You got a new model with the Clarion. You got an improvement with the Neath. There's a lot here. The Rattlers have been very popular for years, and the improvements that you've made on that, I know is going to cause a lot of buzz, and there's going to be a lot of reaction to this video, if not for anything, but that alone is going to cause a lot of people to be interested even more in AGM products. On behalf of Jason, we want to thank you for being on the show again. You're always a solid choice to be on the show, and always the first one to stick his hands up, because this is, believe it or not, this is not fun for a lot of people. People don't always enjoy being, in front of the camera and all that, but you're always the first one to raise your hand and say, hey, I'm ready, let's do it. So we definitely appreciate that.
No, and appreciate y'all. Anything I can do to support y'all are true advocates for this industry, for this niche. And I can't say enough. Goodwill to y'all show, to the information y'all provide, probably to a lot of us manufacturers, to other dealers, but absolutely to end users. Anybody watching, these guys living, right? They're out, they're testing, they're using, and they're selling. So go support them.
Thank you.
That's my big ask, is this is not just for charity, but any way I can support you guys, I always will. Y'all do an amazing job in helping my job easier. I joke, but you probably deserve to be on a retainer for most thermal manufacturers in this space if you're not already. But the expertise, the knowledge, it's a true blessing. So go support these guys as best you can. I'll support them any way I can. But thank y'all.
Yeah, we're accepting t-shirts and shirts in lieu of any type of retainer payment. We can always use that. My wife gets tired of looking at the same t-shirts, Outdoor Legacy t-shirts anyway, so it's nice to change up the wardrobe. With that being said, again, you mentioned the listeners. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is truly an honor to be able to do this. If you're looking to buy a brand new night vision or thermal scope, Trent's said it a couple times. Thank you very much. But give us a call. Outdoor Legacy, outdoorlegacygear.com, 877-350-1818. Jason, we get people that call into us and they say, man, I love the show. Not really into hunting. I don't own a night vision or thermal, but I love the show. And I think to myself, man, I can't believe people actually watch this and they actually like it. It's not, they're not even into like the hunting or the night vision or stuff, but they just like the show, which
I don't know
is awesome, but I have no idea why. But anyway, we thank y'all for watching. Hey, we've got a lot of shows dropping today. We've got a lot of information this week at SHOT Show. Stay tuned. We will be doing reviews, a lot more information on the new stuff from AGM. Stay tuned. We got it all right here. The Late Night Vision Show. This Thursday, every Thursday, right here. We'll see y'all soon. Stay safe in fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes.